In the still of the Australian bush, under a sky full of stars, a legend was born, not with a whisper, but with the crack of a rifle. This is the story of Ned Kelly, bushranger, rebel, outlaw, and national icon. Edward Ned Kelly was born in 1854 in Beveridge, Victoria. The son of Irish convicts, Ned grew up hard and fast in a colony that treated poor Irish settlers like second-class citizens. The Kellys were tough, and trouble seemed to follow them like bushflies in summer. At just 10 years old, Ned rescued a young boy from drowning. The boy's father gave him a green sash as thanks. Ned wore that same sash years later, beneath a suit of homemade armour, in his final showdown. That's the kind of mythos we're dealing with. The Kelly family constantly clashed with the law, petty thefts, accusations of cattle duffing, altercations with troopers. To the authorities, they were a criminal clan. To their neighbours, they were battlers pushed too far. By 16, Ned was apprenticed to bushranger Harry Power. He learned the bush like the back of his hand, the perfect training ground for a future outlaw. By 17, he was arrested for receiving a stolen horse. Ned spent time in prison, and by the time he was released, he was older, bitter, and deeply mistrustful of police. His life was spiralling into legend. Tensions boiled over in 1878 when a trooper named Fitzpatrick visited the Kelly homestead. He claimed Ned shot him in the wrist. Ned claimed he wasn't even there. No matter the truth, the result was clear. Ned's mother was jailed, and a warrant was issued for Ned and his brother Dan. They vanished into the bush. What followed was more than a manhunt. It was a guerrilla war. Police scoured the dense bush of northeastern Victoria. The Kelly gang struck back. At Stringy Bark Creek, the Kelly gang ambushed a police camp. 3 officers were killed. From that day on, they were outlaws. The colony was outraged. Rewards were offered. The bush became both their hiding place and their home, and the legend grew.
If my lips teach the public that men are made mad by bad treatment, then my life will not be entirely thrown away.
The letter detailed corruption, brutality, and class injustice. He wasn't just stealing to survive. He claimed he was standing up for the oppressed. The Kelly gang robbed banks in Ura and Geraldary with military precision. But unlike typical bushrangers, they didn't just take the money. They made speeches, destroyed mortgage records, even posed for photographs. They became celebrities. Ballads were written, crowds cheered. But the government wasn't laughing. They passed the Felons Apprehension Act, making it legal to shoot them on sight. The net was closing, and the Kellys prepared for a final act that would go down in history. In 1880, the gang built suits of armour from ploughshares and steel plates, bulletproof and heavy as sin. Then they took over the town of Glenrowan, waiting for a train of police officers to arrive. They planned to derail the train and spark an uprising. But a schoolteacher named Thomas Curnow escaped and warned the train. The siege lasted hours. The hotel burned. The gang was killed, except for Ned. At dawn, he emerged in full armour, guns blazing. The bullets couldn't pierce the steel, but they found his legs. Ned collapsed, captured alive. Ned Kelly's trial drew massive crowds. He was charged with murder and sentenced to hang. 30,000 people signed a petition for clemency. It was denied. Such is life. More than a century later, Ned Kelly remains a national obsession. Some see a hero who fought oppression. Others see a murderer wrapped in myth. He's a symbol of rebellion, defiance, and the grey zone between right and wrong. He divides Australians and defines them. Maybe that's why Ned Kelly endures, because his story isn't just about law and crime. It's about identity, power, injustice, and the choices we make when the world pushes too hard. Ned Kelly was executed in 1880. His legend has never died. Let us know in the comments, hero, villain, or something in between. And don't forget to subscribe for more legends, myths, and mysteries from Down Under.